Not as good as a nose blow. Oh, but I like that.
Oh,
I like
sprayed.
All right, welcome to Due To Underwhelming Demand, the dad joke of podcasts. It's not that funny, but you laugh anyway. Hopefully. And we're Dave,
Fair.
Rachel, and Forman. We are going to begin today, and we have other things that we are going to talk about. Like, for instance, apparently Forman has an update on selling raffle tickets on the radio, which I can't wait
Oh,
for.
boy.
But,
Oops.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I like that. I like that already.
I knew it, Forman.
I like that
Gosh.
already.
I was hoping for your sake that you'd get away with it, but
Well, that's later, but now
Okay.
the ongoing saga of Dave's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad lawn.
oh, boy. Jeez, what's going on? Are they back again?
No,
Guess
not
who's back?
Or they've never left,
Back
I'm
again.
Not
assuming.
really. No, they're not back again.
Oh, what's going on then?
Well, there's a few things going on. Let me. I will explain. For those who don't know, they were putting in. I believe it's fiber optic cable. It's one of the the evil empires, and they dug in my lawn for a while. They spent a lot of time on my lawn in
Yeah.
various portions, but especially right on my front lawn. Right, and I have a corner.
You're in a corner
and I
lot.
have a corner
That's
lot.
why.
And
Yeah.
they did a lot of, anyway, they dug a lot of holes. So I had begun the process of trying to rehabilitate my lawn.
Okay.
I began with,
It's a good time of year for that.
so I began by throwing some dirt down. I got some dirt. I threw some topsoil down, some seed, and I water and and I know how to grow seed and overseed. I do this every year because usually you'll lose a little bit of your lawn no matter what you do. And so I've begun that process. But that front lawn, where they dug 3 or 4 or 5 times, is quite lumpy and all of that stuff. But,
Oh, boy.
I put some dirt down. I tried my best this week. So, I'm watering it, not cutting it. So I cut around it. And
Oh.
so now the grass it's a foot tall.
That spot?
Yeah, well, the grass that was there, because I'm not touching it, I'm allowing the grass seed to grow and everything else.
Oh, I
It's
see.
starting to grow. It's not perfect. I might do a little bit more seeding, I think to myself. So just before the kickoff to the long holiday weekend, which we just went through, if you're listening later, the May 2-4 weekend.
Yeah.
And I believe it was the Friday leading up. Was a PD day, so my wife took the day off, and we were going to do a little overnighter that night with some friends. But before we left, I thought, there's this, there's this
With
one
friends.
area.
Yeah.
No, don't get. Yeah. Anyway, don't get stupid. Just went on a little trip, for goodness sake.
Okay.
Anyway, there's an area between my neighbor and myself where they really did some digging. And what they did, instead of giving us dirt to work with, they just put gravel down. I know that.
Gravel?
I know.
On the grass?
Yes. And they did it in several spots. So
Are
once,
these people new?
I don't know. That's who did the digging. What can I tell you? So there's gravel there. I haven't bothered with that end. I hadn't yet, but then I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll tackle that. So I had some dirt left over from the other stuff. I put some dirt down, not nearly enough. I better go buy more dirt. So I left and I went to go buy more dirt.
Mm-hmm.
When I arrived back home, at the scene where I had just laid down a lot of dirt, but not enough, are guys digging my lawn.
Again?
Yes.
Where
Now-
you had just fixed it.
Hang on. I just started putting some dirt down. I hadn't fixed that portion. We weren't paying attention. I
But
hadn't fixed that
obviously you
portion.
were in the process of fixing it, and
Yes,
here they come along.
Yes, I put some dirt down.
Yeah.
And these guys
Because their
got to-
gravel isn't there anymore.
Yeah, and
Or
they've
it's
got
covered.
shovels in their hand. Now, I'm going to call these people out because they were here, and they were not the same people that were digging all over my lawn earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Not the
This
same
is-
people you swore at.
No.
A whole new set of people. To
Yeah, they
unleash.
swore at me too.
hell
By the
upon.
way, it was both sides.
It was
Anyway,
mutual
this
swearing.
is. I don't know if this company is nationwide. Maybe it is. I don't know. Clintar. I don't know. You could tell me, Forman.
Oh.
They have a Clintar in
I
there.
don't know.
No.
I don't know. Anyway, they're a green.
There's no one digging up my lawn at the moment, so
Well, they're
maybe
a
not.
landscaping company.
Yeah, they do landscaping.
They plow in the wintertime. They look after properties in this time of year. So it's Clintar, and I thought, what are they doing here?
Yeah.
Why are they digging up my lawn?
Right.
So I get out of the truck and I storm my way down my side
Oh God.
side
I can
lawn
only
and said,
imagine.
hey, guys.
Yeah.
I just put dirt down.
Get the heck out of here.
Yeah, we're really sorry. We're being paid to fix all of this. We're here to put sod down.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Somebody's face perked up, did it?
Okay.
A little bit, except for all the dirt that I'd wasted. I would have been happy if they'd showed up, a day before.
It'll help the sod grow.
Yeah.
They knew you were pissed. All that yelling
It's not me,
and
it's not
swearing
me.
got their attention.
So the evil empires hire companies to come and dig up your lawn and put this and do whatever it is they're doing. And then these companies now find it too overwhelming to fix the mess they've made. So they are now hiring a landscaping company here to do that work for them.
The subcontractors are subcontracting.
Subcontracting. So
How much
these
is
guys
this
are there to
costing
put
them?
sod in. So I'm like, well, okay. Now I've got some seed growing over here. That front bit is a little bit of a mess. And then over on the side, there's an area that they really dug up another side. And they said, yeah, we can fix that for you. That's what we're being paid to do.
Okay,
I said,
good.
well, I might want you to do
Have at
that
it.
over there too. By the way,
I've got a few other problem spots.
Yeah.
He says,
In my
"Bye."
backyard, in the fence here.
No. By the way, your neighbor across the street, just FYI, told us that they dug through his sprinkler line.
Oh God.
And I went, oh, well, I don't know whether they've done that to me because I haven't turned them on. So I went back inside to unload now this dirt that I bought that I apparently don't need a lot of it now. And by the time I come back to talk to them again, there's my neighbor, Gary. Good guy. Gary's a great guy. And Gary says, yeah, they cut through my line. But he says, I YouTubed it. And it was a $6 part.
Oh, great.
And I got this clamp, and I fixed it myself. I said, wow.
Oh, good.
I said, well, I haven't even turned mine on. I'm not planning to turn mine on.
Great job, Gary.
Maybe next week I'll do that. And he goes, oh, I think when you got these guys digging into your lawn, that maybe you should try and make sure your sprinklers work.
Right.
I said, well, okay.
Okay.
So there's a process you have to go through to turn your sprinkler system on. You have to do this, do that. Anyway, so I go through all that. I turn on. There are 4 different zones in my lawn. If you don't, it doesn't really matter. So I turn on the first zone, they all work. I turn on the second zone,
I
they
was
all
already
work.
thinking, must
This
be
is
nice
like,
to have
yeah,
the built-in
totally
sprinkler
first
system.
world.
Look,
At
you-
this point now, you've lost everyone who
No,
doesn't
it is
give
a
one
first world.
shit about you 1%ers.
I
Yeah.
fucking hope it is broken.
Yeah, really.
No, it's a first world
Oh, they
problem.
cut through my
Let me
sprinkler
explain.
line.
All
Let me
4
explain, 'cause
zones
I
All
knew-
4 zones.
I knew
Yeah.
this was coming. You just don't understand this. Look, I had a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy that could put in this sprinkler. So I did this as dirt cheap as I could
Yes,
do it.
I remember you telling me about that
It's
and
a
saying
dirt,
it was quite
it was
economical
a
at
dirt
the time.
cheap opera. I got you need to know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy that takes cash.
Yeah.
Not that I'm, not
But
that I'm
still.
advocating that. I'm just saying.
Not
this
very
was-
many people
this-
have in-ground sprinkler systems.
Oh, they in my neighborhood.
In your neighborhood,
Everybody-
exactly. They all do.
Everybody does.
I know they do. 'Cause I've been
Everybody
there.
does.
Yes.
Anyway, so 2 of them work. The third
Not where
one,
I live.
The third one goes
You
on.
south of Fanshawe?
Yeah.
Mm,
South
yeah.
of Fanshawe.
Yeah, SOF. We know you people. Anyway.
Way
yeah,
south.
Yeah. Anyway, so the third thing goes on, and nothing happens. Although there does seem to be a nice puddle right in the front. And,
Oh, boy.
So Gary comes over. He says, "Yeah,
Yep.
they cut through your." they
Okay.
cut
Well,
through
Gary
your-"
knows how to fix it.
Yeah, sure he does. So
Okay.
we start digging, and we're digging and digging and digging, and we think we've found one end, but there's so much water because of it.
Oh,
I said,
boy.
"Look, I gotta go. We're going away, and we're going away."
Yeah, we got
overnight.
this
I'm like,
overnight thing with our neighbors.
yeah. Not our neighbors. I said friends. What are you talking about? I take my kid with me. You're weird.
Oh, no.
Weird. You're weird.
You're the one who said you take your kid, so.
She's a teenager, but anyway, whatever. So we come back a couple days later. We go. He comes over. He says, "Well, let's dig." So we go. We dig. We find the end. There's one Andy. It's cut right straight
boy.
through.
That
Well,
sucks.
turns out it's nowhere near where it should be. They dug so much in my lawn that we have no idea. We dig and we dig and we. You should see the mess.
So now you're digging in your
We're
home.
digging, but we cannot find the other end where it was snapped.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Because they've dug so much that it's migrated
Well,
somehow?
they used a front end loader, and I don't know.
Okay.
They
probably
moved
pieces of it all over.
everything. And then one of the other lines down where they're putting sod, it's broken too. So I got holes. I got water spurting everywhere. And
Oh,
so
my gosh.
I don't have a sprinkler system anymore, if that makes you feel
Well,
better.
how can they listen? Their
That
whole
makes
thing
you
was
feel
It
better.
does, actually.
their whole thing.
I knew it would. I knew
Their
it would.
whole thing. I mean, I feel slightly bad for you, but not that much.
Oh,
Their whole
really?
thing, though, when they came and dug, was, "Hey, this is city property. We can dig." Well, now they've actually broken some of the infrastructure
Well,
of your home.
That
because
same
they've broken
friend that
this
I went away with,
line.
and I'm not sure he's a friend anymore. When I went away for the weekend, said the same.
Why, what
thing to
happened
me.
overnight?
He basically said, "That's city property. I don't think you can put your sprinklers there." I'm like, but that's where everybody puts their sprinklers at the edge of the property.
Oh, I
don't
see it.
know.
They're at the edge.
I
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah, but if
Anyway,
they're breaking things,
well,
and they
re-
expect you to take
it's-
care of it, that's
Look,
part
Gary,
of taking care of it.
Gary fixed his with a $6 part. If
Yeah.
we could find the other end of mine, maybe
Then
we
you
could
could
do
fix
that.
it.
And maybe dig. If we dug for another 3 days, we might be able
Oh,
to
my.
move everything back. So that's the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad lawn story. Anyway,
Yeah.
We're and by the way, we placed a call to the instigators,
Yes,
which would
I
be
would do that.
which would be one of the evil empires.
Mhm.
They're going to get back to me.
They will not.
Right.
They will not get back to you.
I don't know what kind of weird weekends you take with your friends. This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast with Dave, Rachel, and Forman.
Speaking of Dave going away for a little weekend with his friends,
What do you mean?
this kind of leads me into the next
You
thing.
guys are weird.
He's,
Weird.
he thinks he doth protest too much?
Did you not just go away on a 1-week vacation with friends?
No, I went by myself.
No, Forman.
Oh, Forman did, yeah, with a lot of them actually.
Yeah.
What?
Well, what's up with that?
You went
Oh.
with 2 groups, 2 families.
Yeah, we each had our own rooms.
Yeah, so
Yeah, well,
that's
that's-
how it works in my when I go away too, Foreman. I don't know why
Okay.
you assume I don't.
Well, I think we talked about this on the radio like years ago. I don't know. But what pineapples actually mean. I was at HomeSense recently, and they've got like all the summer stuff out and the decor and whatever. And
What-
there's pineapples all over pillows and all kinds of things.
What pineapples mean? What do you mean?
Yeah,
what
if you have a
pineapple?
pineapple
Uh-huh.
and you are like pineapple decor or whatever, a pineapple T-shirt if you're wearing it. I actually have a pineapple necklace that I got before I knew this was a thing. It
Uh-huh.
means you're a swinger and you're looking
Okay.
and you're open for a party.
Okay. All right.
An overnighter with friends.
Okay.
An
you might
overnighter
say.
with friends,
Okay.
perhaps.
Sure.
Yeah, a weekend away.
All right. Swinger.
I think
What-
we've
what is
talked
this,
about that,
like,
and I think
what is this? 1977?
yeah. Well,
mean,
I
is
don't
this
know.
a-
That's who I think is swinging. I
It's a-
think it's all old hippies.
Well, it's.
I think that's when it started.
I think that's a lifestyle, Rachel, and I think there are lots of words for this lifestyle.
Oh yeah, I don't.
But
maybe
swinger,
they don't call it.
I don't
they,
believe
they just
swingers.
say they're in the lifestyle, don't
yes,
they?
I don't think
Yes.
anybody uses that term anymore. Where'd you get
I
that
think they
from?
do.
I don't think so.
Well, apparently,
think what you would.
where I live, there's apparently a group of them that I've heard about, but I don't know who they are.
You've heard about in your
I've heard
neighborhood,
about.
have you?
It always seems that people end up talking about this at parties that I go to, and then but nobody
What
ever
kind of
knows
parties
who
are
they
you
are.
going to? What kind of parties?
Well,
do
not
you go?
not that kind. 'cause
Pineapple
we're-
parties. Is it the pineapple
No.
party?
She
Maybe
pokes
I
the
am
pots.
at the pineapple parties and I don't know that I'm there. And I'm so dumb about it that they're like, let this one go. She's an idiot.
Yeah. Jeez, can't. Yeah.
But I don't. So apparently, there's some other symbols for this, but pineapples is one. Some for being a swinger.
There's a
Also,
lot.
having
mean?
like
What do
a
you
bar.
mean a lot?
There's a lot. Well, Harley just turned 10, my daughter, and she had a whole pineapple themed birthday party because she just. They're 10, okay? But she just likes the look of them. So now she's got pineapple earrings. They got pineapple-looking cups, and we got pineapple
Nothing
decorations.
wrong with that.
Right.
All this stuff. I talked about it on the radio in Halifax.
Oh,
and
you
then
did?
Right away, I get a text of like, oh, be careful of those kids' parents because you know what a pineapple means. And that sent us down quite a very deep rabbit hole.
Oh, it's a rabbit hole.
Like
Yeah.
pineapples are supposed to. Is a pineapple is the ultimate symbol of Southern hospitality. You're supposed
It
to
is?
be. It's a welcoming gesture to say all are sailors returning from home. You're welcome in. Neighbors are allowed come over for a chat type of thing. And we turned it into this other thing, and particularly we turned it upside down. And now a pineapple on top of a mailbox, pineapple on a front porch, upside down pineapple, a man or
Upside
woman,
down.
and then it keeps going on and on and on, like a man or woman wearing a red ball cap, white
A
landscaping.
red ball cap.
I don't even get down that road.
What?
White landscaping rocks. Wearing a thumb ring, wearing a toe ring,
A thumb
switching
ring?
your wedding ring to the right hand.
Oh.
Garden gnomes, a pink flamingo in your yard.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
my!
And a metal star on the front of your house.
I knew the metal star one. Those are like the barn stars, and I have a mailbox with a barn star on it. Like it's there permanently.
Didn't you give your
Yeah.
dad a garden gnome?
I gave my dad a garden gnome. Yeah,
What's
I
he
did.
doing? What's
I
he
don't
doing?
know. But who wants to swing with people who have garden gnomes?
That's not the point, Rachel. You have the garden gnome to
Yes.
tip people off. It
Whether
doesn't
you-
make you
Yeah, no, I know, but
because people
still.
apparently the pineapple shtick is quite popular on a cruise.
Oh.
Okay.
Put it
so
on your
then you know.
door, or wear pineapple swim trunks or a pineapple bikini.
So when you come across these symbols, which to me there are
This is
so
dumb.
many that you would get mistaken for that all the time. What do you do? Like this person on my cruise has a pineapple sticker on their door or something like that.
Yeah.
Do I just knock on the door? I'm like, hey, what's going
Apparently.
on? Like, what do you
Yeah.
do? How do you
Yeah.
approach these people?
We put this out on the
What
radio. We were
happened?
trying to get confirmation, right? We wanted someone to say,
Yeah.
yes, the pineapple is for that,
Yeah,
and I can
nobody ever-
confirm it.
Nobody confirms.
A lot of people like to dance around
Yep.
it. There's a lot of people talking about, but a friend has a thumb ring, and I'm pretty sure, can't confirm, but pretty sure, and stuff like that. Until the guy,
How many people have thumb rings and don't have a clue that that's a symbol for swinging?
we ended up having to
That's so dumb.
disguise this guy's voice, who says, I can confirm my friend and his wife are swingers.
Okay.
They do use pineapples, but when they're not at home, they'll put it on their phone case. And so pineapple's upside down, and so if you're out and about and someone can see that, they'd be like,
wow.
hey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's handy information.
Then he goes on to
That's
say,
handy
like, one
information.
time we were accidentally invited over for dinner when the swingers were invited over. And we thought,
Accidentally.
Accidentally.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
don't. That wasn't accidental.
No, it wasn't.
No, that's a very specific party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Also, I've heard if your garage is up a little bit, like just a foot open, it's mostly closed, but there's it's open like a foot.
what's your garage
That's it.
door?
Yeah, your garage
door.
door. But people do that if they have like cats or something that are going out, right? And they leave the door open so the cat can get back in.
I lived in a condo complex for a while, and I just assumed they were letting heat out. What do I know?
Well,
It's like
No, they-
3 out of it would be like out of the 50 condos, there would be 10, 12 garage doors open like that, and I just went, yeah, it's just people letting the heat out. What's
The
wrong with
whole
them?
complex, David.
Well, maybe, maybe.
My,
David.
my.
Yeah, that's right.
They can't be letting heat rises if you let the bottom
Yeah.
of the
I have
garage.
no
That's right.
idea. I just assumed that for me.
Maybe you
What
just
do
want
I
the
know?
cold air to come in
You
so
know
it
what?
mixes.
I swear, there's at least 25% more of them have been open in St. Thomas.
Well, they don't have much else to do down there.
Look, and there's right around the corner from me now. I feel like that whole. And while I understand, Forman, if somebody calls you and you have to scramble the voice because they don't want anybody to know. But like anybody could say to you, "Yeah, the pineapple thing. Yeah, sure, that's it."
People say that all the time, but I didn't think it was really real.
But the
Because
pineapple
then
thing,
it was,
to me, this makes no sense. And here's why it doesn't make any sense. If it is, in fact, a symbol or a secret symbol or a secret code, why would you pick a pineapple? They're everywhere. That's dumb.
yeah, I mean, they're all over
That's
the
just
decor.
dumb.
People have them on like all over the place just for, you know, because
Yes.
it's a sign of summer.
But
Or
I think
maybe,
because of
maybe Home Sense is in on it, Rachel.
Oh, boy, more conspiracy theories.
Just saying.
Yes.
I saw a very nice shirt that otherwise would have been nice, and I may have purchased, but I did not because I know all this stuff from the radio at Winners. Covered in
with
pineapples.
pineapples all over. This is
Oh,
what I'm
boy.
telling you. I don't think it is. I think the pineapple thing, that's crap. That's
You know,
pineapple poop.
It will be my.
But it's so common. That's like the number one thing people say. That's the sign of
And
swingers.
that's what makes me think it's nothing but nonsense.
My task for the summer, living in a city that cruise ships come into all summer long.
Yes, you should do that.
Is to go back to Winners and buy that shirt and go walk around and see
and
what
just
happens.
stand on the dock.
See what happens.
Yeah,
Foreman.
go to
That's
the
a
boardwalk.
good idea. You report back. This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast that makes you feel good about yourself.
Oh.
Because even though you might be a dick, you're not as big a dick as Forman. And that. Am I right, Foreman?
God.
I think
What
I'm right.
are you referring to?
I kind of thought you were going to lump all of us in together and then you just singled him out.
No, just Foreman. Because on our previous episode, Foreman was explaining how
Even though you might be a dick.
yeah, you're
poor
not as
Foreman.
big a dick as Foreman.
No.
That you sold your daughter's what is it that it's for her synchronized
The raffle
swimming.
tickets.
Raffle tickets.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't sell them?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What? Foreman.
If
We did
someone,
this whole thing last time.
don't slander the good name of the Atlantis Artistic Swimming Club.
I'm not. I didn't even know
boy.
their name. That's you. It's you and your dickiness that's doing this. It's not me. Don't
I don't know
involve
if
me.
it's was this a poor judgment call?
No,
Foreman?
no, don't. If someone were to have some sort of advertisement selling tickets promoted on the radio, it's that's not part of their license from Nova Scotia Lottery. And if
I
you
see.
were to arrange for that ad, you would have to remove it immediately before their license is revoked.
Busted.
no.
It does not allow for ticket purchases to be made online either.
Busted. I knew.
Well, they weren't made
knew.
online. They were made over the phone.
I knew when you talked about this. I knew something
Oh,
was
boy.
amiss.
I really
don't know
thought.
what you're
about
talking-
that felt like
I wouldn't
it-
talk about this. There are a tremendous amount of rules around selling lottery tickets. Some have changed drastically in the last few years.
Oh, have they? I thought your boss that was away in the Cayman Islands would come back and get angry. Is that not the case?
I don't know what you're talking about because there is no case.
This never happened.
Oh boy.
And it never will happen again. Did
Okay.
you,
So we've
one-
learned a
well,
good
yeah,
lesson, a
this is
valuable lesson.
A valuable lesson
Yep.
for you budding broadcasters
Yes,
out there.
don't do that.
Don't be a foreman.
Right.
Don't be a foreman who thought he had the world's greatest dad hack. So
Right.
yeah, that
was the dad hacks
That
with Forman.
ongoing segment, Foreman's Fun Dad Hacks, is now
Is that dead in the water?
Well,
it's
Look,
in jeopardy.
Maybe we
swim
could have
club-
different hacks.
The swim club would like to clarify that they've never had parents with amazing connections like radio before. So this is certainly something that has never crossed their minds.
That's
Yep.
the best. I love it.
So did the swim club just send a general email to everybody about this? Yes. Oh boy.
That's as quiet as
I
I've
mean,
ever
not that
heard
it happened
seen
or that
Foreman.
we're talking about anybody specific, but
This was
so
your
the
idea, your
all
idea
of
to
the
bring
parents
this up. I have many
received
questions.
an email.
I want to know.
I have a
whether-
lot of questions too, but it doesn't
Has-
seem like he wants to talk about it.
Has any money been refunded?
It does not have to be from this point forward.
Okay.
Oh, from this point forward.
Okay.
I
So
see.
we'll reap the benefits of what has been done, but we can't do it again.
In
I
other
mean,
words,
it's only a lottery license to operate within the province.
Right? Yeah.
oh yeah. So you
Well,
were
that's
trying
fine.
you were trying to sell these to everybody listening to this podcast.
I was very specific. If I were to do it, sorry, I would have been very specific that it's
love
only
this.
open to residents of Nova Scotia.
I love this.
Yeah. Well, no, you did
say
say that last
I
time.
knew it.
Because I
knew
couldn't
it.
buy a ticket.
Yeah, I
No, you
Right.
can't buy a ticket.
Right.
And,
Okay.
and
'Cause
I
I'm
mean,
not,
and
I'm
you-
not there.
no one said anything about talking about it on a podcast.
No. Okay. Okay. We're just discussing hypotheticals.
Just
at the
to be
moment.
safe, I'm just making sure that we haven't and aren't and will never do that.
No.
Right.
Oh no.
Never.
We're not selling raffle tickets
Nope.
on this podcast anymore. Anyway.
Not a chance.
Not don't even email us. Don't ask for any. They're not available.
If you do, please single Forman out, and it's really easy. Just address the email to Dickhead, and
Oh my god.
Did
Oh
you who are you?
Poor Forman.
Who are you in trouble with?
Yeah, who actually got you in trouble?
Yeah, just out of curiosity.
The swim club?
What
Yes.
kind of deep water are you in?
I don't want the swim club to be in deep water with Nova Scotia Lottery,
I see. Okay.
which
Has Nova
they
Scotia
may,
Lottery found out anything yet?
They may be in medium depth water with Nova Scotia Lottery because it was maybe it was the Nova Scotia Lottery who alerted the swim club that this had happened in the
It might have been brought to their attention.
Oh
Great.
boy.
Yeah. That's what
my.
happens, sometimes when you say something on the radio, someone hears it. And that's why there are rules and regulations and things like that. Please.
Yeah.
Look,
What happened when your boss came back?
I just gonna say, I moved here with a brand new company purchasing 2 last place radio stations.
Uh-huh.
Right.
It's been very easy to operate under the assumption that no one's listening anyway.
Right.
Look at the ratings we inherited.
Well, that's what I used to always assume
Yeah.
when we were doing our radio show. Hey,
I mean,
who's listening anyway.
Yeah.
The
Fortunately
boss-
or
the boss-
unfortunately, turns out maybe the ratings are getting better.
Well, so this is that's the silver lining of this then, Forman, is that you are doing better than expected.
Yep.
Yes, that doesn't always get you allow you to keep your job, though, Rachel. That
No.
just,
Well,
It's a target for people with pitchforks.
I could cite,
it sure
I could
is that.
cite
You're right.
many, many, many examples
Yes.
of people who had great ratings who are no
Yep.
longer working in
True.
radio,
Yeah.
television. All
Yes,
of that
but there's
stuff.
many people with very, very good ratings and very bad behavior. Not
Exactly.
not like this though.
Well,
that are
yes,
were
but I-
around
but I-
for
but
a
I-
too long.
Well, yes, but I think
Mm-hmm.
we can both agree on this, Rachel, that last week we thought it was, I believe, Despicable was thrown out as.
Yeah, I
So,
I regret my comments now, knowing what
I
hot water
don't.
Foreman may or may not be in. I regret.
I don't think
I
did.
regret rubbing
No.
salt in the wound.
I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying this. Words fail me.
Words fail me.
This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast with Dave, Rachel, and Forman, the podcast that you could sponsor if you really want to get the word out. Sponsorship works.
Yeah, so it sure does. Actually, we've heard from a lot of people who have purchased products that they've heard about on our podcast,
Yes.
and we've heard back from all of our sponsors to say that they have had great feedback from our listeners. People who said they've heard about them on our podcast, so we know it works.
Even the Halifax apparently, or the Nova Scotia Gaming Commission apparently is. So it does. It will get heard, not necessarily
Sure.
on the podcast, but anyway. So contact us, Dave, Rachel, and Forman at gmail.com. If you know somebody that's looking for a podcast to sponsor,
Yeah.
we're available.
Do you want to increase sales?
Of course.
We can do that.
We
can
have
do
very engaged listeners, and you know that because you're listening to us now. So
That's right. That's right.
We have a great listener base.
Yeah.
Very
Great
engaged
people.
listeners
And we
who like to comment on everything we're talking about as
Yeah,
well.
we got so many
love
messages
to
this
hear.
week.
We love
Yes.
to hear from people. What do we got?
Apparently, I really struck a nerve while I swore up and down profusely, repeatedly about Costco.
Oh, your rant.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We
In
got
fact,
a lot of feedback on that one.
Ashley said the other day, "Oh, I was texting with my dad." Oh, yeah, what he'd say. Andrew swears a lot, doesn't he?
Awesome.
Sure does, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Annie had sent us a message that says, "OMG, when I was listening to that last night on the podcast, while cooking supper, I was bent over laughing, gasping for breath." I love Costco, but I totally understand what Forman is saying. This is the funniest episode to date, and I look forward to hearing next week's antics.
Oh, that's good.
Awesome. Thank
Who was
you.
that from?
Annie.
Annie, thank
you for
Schultz
that.
Reedon.
Okay, I have one from Andrea, who used to live in this area but has now moved out east, actually, kind of like you, not as far as you.
Does she want to buy a lottery ticket?
Don't.
No, she can't. She's not. Anyway,
Has to
so
do it
she
in
is
person with cash.
Okay, don't
And you-
offer that. It's not an
That's
option,
all right.
Need
Dave.
a Nova Scotia home address.
Just trying
Okay.
to, you know.
Not
Anyway,
talking
she-
about it on the radio.
Okay.
Andrea used to listen to us all the time. And so now she said, "Hey, long time no chat. I just wanted to pass on. I was listening to the podcast and holy fuck do I miss you guys." She's like, "I'm sitting here doing my jigsaw puzzle with my coffee because I'm 100 and crying laughing," she says. "Hearing you guys swear makes me so fucking happy." And Forman is 1,000% right. Costco sucks ass.
That's a great email.
Thank you, Andrea.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so glad.
Oh.
I'm just glad to hear that people laugh along with us because we have fun doing it. So if you're laughing too, awesome.
Also, by the way, Deb, I believe it's Deb sent me a headline, which I truly
yeah.
appreciate. And I would read it right now, except I want to save it, Deb. So we're going to
For
save
headlines,
We're
okay.
going to save it. We
Thank
have
you, Deb.
an
Perfect.
upcoming episode headlines.
Dave's seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got an email. Remember I talked about Julia's track and field day and how she really didn't want to go. She
Right.
didn't.
Yeah.
The update is she did go and she didn't get any ribbons this year, and she was really actually upset about that. She came home. She's like, "I didn't get any. All my friends got a ribbon, even sixth place. I didn't get anything," and I didn't. So I get how she feels. Anyway, so Tony sent us a message, and she said, "Rachel, I'm not gifted in anything sporty because I'm actually also an excellent swimmer, though, but she's not sporty, so that's the same as me." She says, "I have zero athleticism, and I honestly don't care to get any. I was dead last in all track and field events, and you are so right. The embarrassment is torture. Everyone already knew how bad I was at gym class. I didn't need it to be showcased in many different events in which I sucked at every one. By grades 7 and 8, my mom finally let me stay home on track and field day, and I will be forever grateful for that. To save your daughter the embarrassment that I already received in other ways from my peers was just truly one of the best things she did for me and my school days. I still participated in gym class when we were practicing track and field activities, but I didn't compete in the day." As she says, because Dave had mentioned, you got to just try harder. This should give you incentive to do better. She said, "In no way did I feel like I needed to try harder to be better. I am good at other things and didn't want to be better at this thing."
I'm just offering.
She goes on
hey,
and on,
look,
but
I'm
that's a
just,
piece of it.
I get everyone finds something somewhere, I believe, that they don't suck at.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not saying that you are great at it or whatever. You just don't suck at it. Hey,
Right.
I spent a long time at the radio because I just didn't really. Maybe I sucked at it, but I didn't really suck at it.
Yeah, you didn't
So
suck
that's
hard.
what you should strive
Yeah.
for. I've never, I've never ever suggested striving for the top.
Yeah.
Why would
No,
you?
you don't want to aim.
Why
You
would you,
don't want to be the
dude?
Cadillac because
no,
the bar is too high, right?
That's right.
If me personally, was middle of the pack on track and field day,
Sure.
I would be perfectly happy to do it. Even if I was mid to back of the pack,
You'd
I would
happy.
be fine. But I was dead last in every event,
How about
every
when
year,
they had to pick teams?
and I knew it.
for
Oh,
something.
nobody ever picked me. Why would they want
dead
me?
last? Yeah, see. Foreman,
That was-
I don't know about you,
think
Foreman.
picking teams is
I always landed in the middle, and I was happy with that. Somewhere in
Yeah.
the middle, he gets picked.
I'm
Perfect.
a solid somewhere mid-pack, don't
Yep.
pay attention to him type of.
No, I'm the back of the pack.
Exactly.
The only people
Exactly.
who are in favor of doing the let's pick teams thing are people who get picked first. The only people
Because
who
they
are-
want to
who
pick
want
first.
to do that. It's the gym teachers who would
Yes.
always get picked first, and now they teach gym because that's what they're good at. It's the athletes who do other things outside of school. Those are the people who will do that.
Yes,
and
they
think
wanna
that's a
do-
good idea.
because they
Everyone
wanna
else
do the-
thinks it's a very bad idea.
They want to do the picking so that they don't pick you.
Right? They want a stacked
They're
team.
making sure you're not on their
Exactly.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
why they
the
pick.
only people who like that way of doing it are those people.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
I've
Are
got
you
one
done
more
now?
email here then.
Yeah,
Are
that's
you
my
done now?
rant.
Okay,
I'm
you're
just
done. Wow.
I hate
Wow.
it.
Wow.
Your
It's
rant,
embarrassing.
if I
Wow.
could give you a couple pointers, it needs more swearing.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I'll do better next time.
you should. I know you can do it.
Yeah. All right, what do you got, Foreman?
Jen, email daverachelforeman@gmail.com.
Yes.
Says, hi, so happy you guys are back together. I'm telling everyone I know about your podcast because I enjoy listening so much.
Oh, thank you.
That's nice.
I used to work with Ashley, my wife,
yes.
when
Okay.
Forman, quote unquote, stopped working for the radio show. And I heard
Uh-huh.
all about it from Ashley, but I won't get into that bull.
Oh, cool.
In brackets, I hope you swear on the podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's not a problem.
Yeah. Anyways, Foreman, my husband has not forgotten about the terrible experience of taste testing scotch with you at the Christmas party. He still
only
cannot,
imagine.
to this day, take shots of hard liquor at all.
I know this story. What a great... Is that the story where you put on the wrong shoes?
Yeah, you got the wrong shoes. You brought them home or something. You lost your shoes.
Same company, different Christmas party.
Okay, well, I knew
Anyway,
it.
so
It's
whenever he
close.
listens to this podcast, he gets flashbacks. Keep it going. Good job, you guys. Yes, this is a different Christmas party. This was one. It was in public at a restaurant.
Oh.
Okay, so
Uh,
that
the,
was...
the guy running this company is an old friend of Ashley's father, whose nickname is Heavy because he's not heavy, and the guy running the company's name is Goose. I don't know why.
Okay, Heavy and Goose.
Heavy and Goose. So they go way back in Huntsville.
Okay.
Now Ashley's working for him. We're at a restaurant for the Christmas party, which is open bar.
Oh, okay.
And even though
And you
somewhere
decided to get shots of scotch.
somewhere deep down in my DNA, I was putting to practice the lesson I've learned from many a Christmas party with David here.
Always go up to the bar when the boss is
Yes.
there.
Exactly.
That's it.
Because the boss has
So-
the company credit card.
That's right.
You saddle up to them. That's a life lesson.
Always, always.
Yep.
So it turned out a lot of the husbands and boyfriends are all not employees. We're just there with the employees of the company. So we're all up with Goose at the bar.
Okay.
And this starts to turn into like, well, everybody choose a round for everybody as we sit here and get louder and louder and more belligerent.
Oh,
Right.
Wow. That's fun.
Goose or one of the other guys points at this like super fancy, very, very well aged scotch that's high out of reach from the bartenders of like,
Oh
we're
my.
gonna get around to that. And the bill at the end of the night was like, it had to be
What was
tens
it?
of thousands of dollars.
Wow. That's
For the
a
liquor?
party. Yeah.
Oh,
that's a
my.
party.
Was it?
I like
But
that.
when the
I've
guy,
never had a boss like that.
it's his company, so what? I
Yes,
don't
he
know.
can do what he wants to
Yeah.
And
write
I
off.
didn't
Do
choose
whatever
it.
he
All
wants.
I chose was
Yeah.
gin and tonic. Like I'm trying to be very
That's right.
low key here.
Company Christmas party. That's a write-off, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think you can write off expensive scotch, Rachel, but you could try.
Put that in there and see what the accountant says.
Well, it
I
sounds
think
like
that's
fun.
exactly how it played out.
Yep, probably.